4, I think, of this. That's really loud. Oh my god. Okay, part 4 of intermediate chess play. At least I think it's part 4. I don't know for sure. I'm just gonna play another ladder match. I've been playing this account for a while. My current rating is 1330. Yeah, 1335. I think this guy's 1200. So, okay. I'm gonna be opening with the Scandinavian as black, and the I think the Queen's Gambit as white, because I heard that's pretty good. But yeah, it's an interesting move he just made. I don't know if I like that move. I'm going to move my knight up to defend, because I can't really pressure that. And if he takes, I'll just take as my queen or something. Okay, this guy's playing very, very aggressive, which is fun and annoying. So we're going to have to defend this. Let's start by moving that pawn to add another protection piece to the d5 pawn. And while I'm talking about this, if you might notice, or you might not, that I improved my recording. I can now box where I want to record, so I don't record my entire screen, have a lot of wasted space, and that's an improvement. Let's see what he tried to do here. He's trying to pressure this pawn as much as possible, but I'm not going to let him do that. Or at least I'm trying not to let him do that. I'm going to continue to develop my pieces. I could attack his queen, but I don't know how useful that would be. It would get my bishop in position, but I don't think it would help in the long run. Yeah, I think this would be a good move. At least I know I have to move this pawn. I'm deciding whether to move it here or here. I think it would be better to move it here, because I actually kind of want to push this angle, this lane. I don't know if you guys can see my mouse actually, but I hope you can. I'm going to be pushing this lane, as I just said, and trying to get an angle over here on his king. And if he castles, I'll have to go around. Okay. So this is, I can kind of tell this guy's inexperienced, because he should never move. You should never ever move your knight out to this spot. This is a really bad spot. He should have moved it to the e2 position, because that'll allow him to like attack more spaces and be more open. And right here, it can't really go anywhere, especially if I move my bishop out over here and my pawn just up one. That completely denies that position. I don't need to move. Actually, I should probably move that. That'll defend me pretty well if I move my pawn right there. And if he moves his knight to the f4 position, I can push this pawn as well, or move my bishop up. So that was the best move there. If I move my window, will it move that? Yes, it will. Okay. Good to know. I'm just beginning to use Spectrum. I got 10.8. I'm really far behind, and yeah, I use a Mac, but I don't know. I like Macs. Okay. What did he just? Okay, move the knight. I don't know why he's making such like defensive moves. That knight wasn't a knight under attack, and that really didn't help him in any position. And to respond to this, I'm going to move my knight to this position, which will attack a bunch of pieces around it and generally protect my pieces, which is what I want to be doing. Although it does remove... No, it doesn't. Okay, that's not that big of a deal. Yes. I like this move. If you notice any like mistakes from my play, feel free to point them out. I'm always trying to improve. I'm okay with him making that move. I can push my bishop into a nice position here. He can't really attack that very well. And it kind of pins this pawn to his king. So he'll have to move his king before he can move the center positions up. And again, I'm going to be trying to push this angle. If he defends it too well, I can just go through to the center. I don't know. I think he might passively defend this, in which case I can get an advantage position really easy. I feel, at least. Yeah, it's kind of the awkward part about playing the 30-minute matches is that there's a lot of downtime, and I don't always. I have trouble cutting a lot of it out because I usually forget, but now that was most assuredly not a good move for him to make, because I can move here, right? I don't know. Wait a minute. Let's think this for a second. I think my queen here would make him feel pressure to move that. Because if I put my queen here, and if he doesn't move the knight, I get the knight, and if he takes it, I can fork his king and his rook. And if he moves his knight, I can take it with my... Actually, no, I can't. If he moves his knight, he's fine. But I actually get a lot of pressure with if he moves his knight, because I can move this knight up to this position and pressure this tile right here. That'll be good. So I think this move is a good move for me to make. Again, with the downtime, feel free to skip ahead in the video if I forget to edit this out. I might, but I'll try not to. Now that was... Actually, was it a bad move for him to make that? Yes, that was a bad move for him to make that move. Yeah. Because now I can move my knight up here. And what is he going to do to defend that knight? He can move his rook up, I suppose. But what does that accomplish in the long run? I'm still able to put more and more pressure on that position, and he's not necessarily able to defend that. And I'm okay with taking like a small trade. Like if I trade this bishop for this rook, or this knight, and this knight for whatever piece he takes that with, I'll still be in a good position. And he decides to move there, and I have to respond to this by taking it with one of my bishops, or he can take my knight. So this is a simple trade right now. I'm going to take that trade. But which one? I think I should take it with this pawn, because taking with the other pawn will leave it open to attack my king, because that'll open this file, and he can probably, maybe, get his queen in there. Maybe not as easy as I previously thought, but it's still possible. I might as well not take the risk. He can move his bishop here, but I can respond easily with a bishop up here, and I can't really attack in this position without losing just a piece outright, so I think that's okay for now. Other moves you can make. This, like I said, this knight, this is a terrible position for this knight compared to like here. If his knight was here, like he could be attacking so many more positions around these key areas. He could also be protecting this knight. But instead, his knight is just stuck in the middle of nowhere on the side of the map, and he's not attacking anything useful, like at all. And so if I continue to pressure this position, he's going to have a knight. He's going to have to move it back here or up here to eventually rotate over to this side of the board. He could maybe spark some aggression with it. Actually, he can't even do that, because if he wanted to assist his queen, actually, this was an interesting move that he made. I don't like the move that he just made. I don't think that was a good move for him. Because let's say I take, and he takes with his queen, I can move up, and then his king is like in really big trouble, I think. I don't know, actually. Is it? Yeah, because even if he does take this pawn, he gets his pawn for free, and then we trade evenly pawn for pawn. And he does have this position where he can take this pawn and threaten my rook, but I can move up. And then you have to move his bishop, and I can threaten this pawn. But all in all, I don't know. I think my definite move should be to trade. And he can still take that, but it's not a very good trade for him. Well, he gets a free pawn, but I can defend it very easily, and it gives me a lot of positioning. So I think he traded there to release some of the pressure on his king. But I'm going to still apply pressure because I have this loaded diagonal right on his king, and if he moves his king anywhere, like, I can continue to put pressure with more rooks. I can move my bishop out. And he did an unexpected move. He moved to this file. I don't know why he didn't just take the bishop, or not the bishop, but the pawn. There's not really any way I can attack that anymore without just blatantly attacking him moving. I guess that will spring me into a better position with I don't know. I don't know why I didn't take it. Well, I guess I could go on the offensive, but I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. Let's see. If I put him in check here, where can he move? He can move his king in two positions. He can't take my bishop back. So if he moves his king here, how can I threaten that? I can move my bishop or my queen up that here, and that would be checkmate. So that would be a bad move for him to make. And if he moves his king here, which would be the only move for him to make, I can I can continue threatening by moving my queen here. And then if I move my queen there, and my bishop's here, his knight is pinned. And if he doesn't react, I can take this, put him in check, and threaten his queen at the same time, so I'll get a queen out of that trade. So I think this is definitely the best move, an obvious move for him to make in this decision. I know he's still threatening this, but I can put the momentum on already, and that won't really hurt in the long run. He's not really threatening mate here because he doesn't have his bishop out, and I have a pawn protecting this, and all this piece is weak, and the only piece protecting this pawn is my king. But he doesn't really have any way to put double pressure on that. And he made a mistake, and that's checkmate. No, it's not. That's stupid. I don't know what I'm thinking. That is not checkmate, because he can take my bishop, which is genius on my part. Actually, no, it is checkmate. Well, that's good. I thought I was stupid, but I'm not. Oh my god, I'm dumber than I thought I was. Okay. That was a misconception, but that's okay. Be able to do the same move I thought I was going to do earlier, and then it'll actually be checkmate. I don't know how you'd respond to this without losing the game. Not without losing the game, but yeah. Again, you can't really defend this very well, like, at all. I mean, I don't know how you defend this move. Like, where can he move to not immediately die? Well, he can avoid that, but, you know, whatever. Let's see where he can move. Like, he can move here to block my bishop, or my queen, which is one of his only really good moves, but even then I can fork his queen and his bishop with my pawn. He can't really protect anything with his rook. Yeah, that was a bad move because I can checkmate him now because his king can no longer move into that top position. So this should be game. This should be game. Okay, good. And that's a weird picture. All right, we're gonna leave that. That's a potato. Okay. Okay, good game. That's 14-minute video, not bad. I'll be uploading this, and I'll be uploading a lot more. So, sweet. Awesome. Good game, everybody. See you next time. Thanks for watching.